I want to geek out because I loved literature, but it's like quintessentially American to in some ways change your name and to make your story, right? Like my favorite character in all of American literature is this guy, Jay Gatsby. And his name was James Gatz. He was from North Dakota. And he said, wow, James Gatz is not a sophisticated name, so I'm going to call myself Jay Gatsby. And he reinvents himself. And in different ways, you, Theo Von, like no one would have thought you'd be Theo Von growing up. No one would have thought this geeky Indian kid is going to go represent Silicon Valley. And Ro Khanna is going to become Ro Khanna, representing the most economically powerful place in the world. But like that's the story of America, right? That's the story of self-invention. And it's something that we've kind of lost. That it's why my parents came here. And the question is, how do we get that back? Like how, we've talked about all the negative stuff, which I get. Point. But how do we get people believing in this country again, believing that we can do big things again?
Well, I think there's some ways, and we'll go into this now then, because we're on my list here, and I am using a list today. That's okay, because it's an important conversation. Because of AI, job replacement has already started to happen.
Yeah.
Right? What kind of worker protections can be implemented, do you think? Because I know you have an Internet Bill of Rights, and then we can talk about that right after that.
Yeah.
Or it may be part of it. But what do you think? Because we should be protecting the human, right, at a certain point.
We should be protecting the human. And we could go two ways with AI, right? One way of AI is, like this could create a lot of new jobs, right? We could build new factories now that are productive in this country. You could have someone in a classroom in Kentucky now who, because of AI, doesn't get to go to Harvard or Stanford, but suddenly has the knowledge of the whole world at their fingertips, and it can get that kind of education. You can have someone working in a small rural town making 80 grand or 100 grand because they're a content creator. Or you know how many content creators there are in this country? 1.5 million who make some money doing content creation. Or they can do digital marketing, or they can help AI start a small business. So like my point is, how do we get AI to lessen the wage gap, to create economic opportunities, as opposed to just eliminating jobs?
Yeah.
The scary part is, what if they're going to start to eliminate jobs? Like if you're a truck driver, what if they say, okay, we're just going to have self-driving trucks? That's why we need to pass laws saying, no, I need a truck driver for safety. Like, would you fly on a plane right now without pilots? You know, same thing. I wouldn't. So let's make sure we have basic safety in terms of recognizing that we do want workers, and workers get to have a say in how to use this technology. You know what the scariest thing is? The unemployment rate for kids between 21 and 29 who have a college degree. Like everyone often says, oh, if you have a college degree, you're going to be employed. Actually, it turns out if you have a vocational skilled trades, 21 to 29, you have a 2% unemployment rate right now.
Wow.
College degrees, 15%. That could go up to 30% if with AI, with these entry-level jobs. And one of the things we need, I think we need the federal government to help incentivize people getting apprenticeships after they're done with a trade school or a college, so they can actually get a job, make sure they're subsidized. Create a government future workforce administration that hires them so they get a few years of experience and then can go on to the private sector. Most importantly, everyone needs to understand technology and AI. The old cliche is you're not going to be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by someone who knows AI. And in our schools, K through 12, everyone should have a technology class. China is aiming by 2030 to have universal literacy on AI.
Yeah, not to interrupt you, Ro, but I think, well, one thing you said here that was really great was anybody, I agree, a lot of jobs it's going to be scary. I'm amazed. I was talking to my brother yesterday. I said, bro, do you have your kids learning about AI right now? Like, are they learning about it? Are they starting to use it? And my brother's like, no, I don't think so. I said, dude, I feel like it's coming so fast that it could change things really fast. Now, one thing you mentioned is anybody can learn this right now. It's almost like a great reset in a lot of ways. So you have the kid who couldn't afford to go to Harvard, right?
Yeah.
Who couldn't afford to go to MIT, whose father doesn't have the nepotism, because we certainly live in like a NEPA society now in a lot of ways, whose father didn't have that capability. Now that kid can get on a computer for probably 6 weeks or something, really focus and crack down, and could probably get a job. Like,
Yeah.
I was literally looking the other day, I was like, I need somebody who knows everything about AI, right?